Sorry for that transition. Hi guys, welcome. How are you? Look at this hairdo we got rocking today. How are you doing? I'm just gonna see so you can hear me. Yeah, you should be able to. Hi. Morning, afternoon, good day. How are you doing? Hi. Oh, I am tired today. Anyone more than me? Anyone else felt the full moon? Moving into the Scorpio. Hmm. How are you? Today, like I said, I'm tired, but I am happy. So I thought I would just like to be here with you and for us to enjoy this beautiful Friday. How are you out there in the world? Doing okay, Paga? Beautiful seeing you. Hi, Goatee. Tired but happy. How are you? I tried to reach you, Goatee, on Discord. You might check it out if you feel like it. You today? I'm gonna come a little bit closer to the camera. Just moving my keyboard out of the way. So, some beautiful healing energy readings. And just to hang out for a couple of hours this beautiful Friday. Hi, Torso. Amen. Yeah, you felt the full moon. I'm not much into, I don't know too much about the moon and astronomy in sense, but I have a friend who I spoke to just before lunch, before starting streaming, and she said that, yeah, did you feel the full moon? So I'm not too much into it, or I don't know too much about it, but it does explain how I felt yesterday. Having all these stress rashes coming up, and boy, we had a row in the system, and all of these things. But it's also beautiful. Totoso, how are you? Can you hear the music? Is it too loud? Maybe I should bring it down somewhat. So yeah, for anyone who would like a transference, an energy reading, a healing. Yeah, by Steve. Hi, hello. How are you? You can put exclamation mark joy. Oh, sorry, joy in chat, and you'll be putting Q if you feel like it, or we can just hang out and talk. The contest if your hair color is ginger or blonde. Really? Blonde? That's the first. It's ginger or brown, but blonde? That's the first. I like it. It depends on how much sun it has seen or how much sun has laid upon it. But I am ginger. And then sometimes in the winter it goes to look a bit more brownish. But blonde, Paga, that's a new one. I like it. What would you say? Maybe it can be every color, It's okay. No, I understand, Gertie. It's okay. Did you see that you got a private message? Queen, do I? Oh, I don't feel like it, but thank you. I am exhausted, but I'm very, very happy. So I thought having this little healing session together, and we can bring the healing in to all of us and everyone who wants to join, and also to me, and just enjoy this Friday together. I have many sculptures and figurines who wants to work with us today. I have some jewelry also who wants to work. My guides have said that there's someone who have a question and don't quite know how to ask. So if that is you, if you resonate with it, it might be that they're coming in later. But if that is you, feel free. This is a safe space. It is online, it is open, yes. But if you feel comfortable with it, I hope you can also feel it being. But thank you for the compliment. Maybe it's this creates a crown, you know? Oh, I like that, Goji, that you did. You can answer then if you see that you got a message and you click where the message pops up, and then you can answer. I'm gonna open up a little channel to open up this beautiful healing room of ours today between us, and to open it up and welcome anyone feel they like to, and just spread the beautiful warmth. I'm doing this with fire, as I am who I am. So whoever feel they want to join, whoever you are, wherever you are, on your journey, welcome, studying, embracing, joyful, transparent room of you. Thank you, good updates. Bon appetit. Thank you for the donation. Just bringing some laughter and extra joy to the stream. Yeah, you do. Thank you, my friends. Oh, I love that. And bon appetit. Thank you so much, my friend. It's a little bit of an internal joke, where, you know, when we get to meet, we have so much to thank technology for. And before I started this, you know how I was. I didn't quite understand computers, and it felt like I was not meant to live in this era. I know many can resonate with it. And then starting to work in this way, and I've spoken about this a lot before, but to open up and to see that you can actually reach people who might not otherwise feel safe enough, or especially now in this pandemic, being able to reach other people in a safe space where I hope to bring the joy for who you are, so that we can be just who we are in here, and also explore who we want to be outwards. So for those who feel that they need to ask to not be alone in another way, I'm talking about people coming in and maybe acting a bit rude, because this does happen. I'm just asking you to be gentle and to be open also to them. If they say anything to any one of you in chat, they will have to be blocked. But they can say anything to me, because being lonely and feeling that we want to be a part of something is something that is so human, and we express this in different ways. Like I've said before, I don't believe in evil people. I don't believe in issues people. I don't believe in evil. I don't believe someone can be evil. There's evil actions. I don't believe in evil people. Hi, girl. Oh, she saw the candle and left. That's Dixie, one of our cats. Which era do I feel I resonate with? I'm very close to my past life, where I lived in Scotland and England. You heard the story of Mary of Scots. I strongly resonate with having been in that era, having been in that part of history. And it's so interesting because as you know, now you can ask me when they lived and all these things. And as you know, I don't keep anything in my head. I couldn't even remember the name of the person that was me in past life. This is how my brain works. I can go up and I can search for it, but I keep nothing in my head, as you know me. But I feel very well connected to that story, and I've spoken a lot about this before, how I always have this connection to England and to Carlisle and to having been, I thought I'd been working for a royalty in some way or form. I thought I was a jester, when jesters were just about to not be a profession anymore. But I didn't know where that was. I didn't know where I've lived, or I know where I lived, but I didn't quite know the full story until I met someone, and I've shared this story before. I met someone who had been there too, and slowly by slowly, it just came together. So having been my past life, or just having a very similar experience to it, would be David Rizzio, of a friend of Mary of Scots. And there had been the story that he had, and the story that I had as a memory from that, or in the soul. I'm not sure it was me per se, but it was a fragment of my soul. I also believe it could be a fragment of my guide, but he's definitely there somewhere, and the pieces just came together, you know. You were a Spartan. Oh, right. You said England. I started to think of a situation with your twin being there, and if they're both related. Yeah. So the thing is, first, I always had this. I felt England, somewhere in England, being my home, and I couldn't explain it. I just wanted to go to England when I was little, and it was just I wanted to be a boy, and I wanted to live in England, and it wasn't just that I wanted it. It just felt like this is my home. And so I thought it was due to past life, because then I had all these experiences from past life, and I saw different images, and I got to meet people who just resonated in the soul fragment on the astral plane from being part of the same story. So I thought that it was just due to, when I then went to visit London, and when I was 15 and I finally got to go to England, and I went to London, and I felt familiar, you know, I knew my way around. It wasn't, sorry, the music is a little loud, maybe? Let me know. It wasn't as if I was coming home in London, but I knew my way around. It was familiar space, a familiar experience, the smell, the people, the movement, and the general, you know, I found my way around. I knew my way around. And so I thought that was due to my past life, but having been many hundred years apart, it didn't really quite make sense to me. And so then when I collided with my twin, it made perfect sense, but it also is very bonded, because there's both the life with as Rizzio, and it's also the life right now with my twin. So it's all being part of the soul fragments. And once, and I thought I told you this also on stream, I've been talking about this, that I thought also that, because when I went to mediums, I just had to know, I had to know what other people could see about this connection with my telepathic twin. And they said, well, you have a bond, but you're not directly, it's not direct telepathy because there's someone between the two of you helping you channel the information. And so then I thought, oh, that might be Rizzio, that might be the soul of him. But then I met the guy that is helping me, so it was not him. But I have I'm still exploring, I'm still so curious as to what it can be. But yeah, everything just goes together in the end. And no matter how vast the universe is, and no matter how many lives we live, this is our life right now. And let's live it. I just think it's so important to talk about it. And it's so fascinating also with having with my clients. Some people, it's very rare that I work with past lives, but in some cases, memories from past lives truly do, being past lives or not, whatever it is, those clusters truly do affect the individual here and now. And so by simply acknowledge those clusters of emotions, it could be that we think it to be past life in order for us to make sense of it. But then that's also fine. As long as we can get to meet it. And everyone, as with the same of finding belonging, we do it in our different ways. So being memories from past lives, from the soul fragment or no, if it makes sense to the individual to perceive it as being, and in that be able to connect to it and appreciate it, then it's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna read chat. Right. Your whole life you always wanted to be a Spartan. I know the feeling, Gertie. I felt I had been I'd been a man who'd been playing the violin, who was a homosexual. I'm just saying that plain out. He was, in that time and era, that was very important because that was not quite acceptable. And he fell in love with someone he should not have fallen in love with, and that made it so that he lost his life. And I was so terrified of, I've always been so terrified of losing my life in this life due to being stabbed. And first, this was the part that didn't make any sense to me, because when I experienced the emotions from that life, or the memories that wanted to come through to me, I always thought that he was decapitated. But it didn't resonate within me. It was just, I thought, oh, it's during this time era, it should be decapitation, but it didn't make any sense to me. But I just thought that was probably what happened, but I knew why it happened. And we had this other story coming in that was so beautiful as well as tragic. But then it turned out that David Rizzio, he was stabbed. He was stabbed 48 times, was it? And then they threw him out of the castle window. And I always been so terrified with being stabbed. So that makes more sense to me, and it all just comes together. For me, it's several eras, and I think most of them involve traveling, yeah. Because even as a child, I would feel comfortable exploring places I'd never been before, and I could easily know everything around. And I had an episode last year about going to Lisbon with my family, and I was so comfortable, and it was easier for me to find a place I was looking for. But for my family, we're all confused, kind of lost, and without any idea where to go. But for me, it was natural. Yeah, always been like that. Do you feel, Paga, that this is a common theme though? Because as I've talked to you before about you being so connected to nature and the fragrance of nature, I would also believe that you are traveling with astral traveler, or with astral traveling, astral projection. So I feel you will find yourself around places because with your physical body, because you already explored it with your astral body or your astral mind, I would say in your case, Paga. But then of course, some places resonate more with us than others. And it could be that we've been there before, or it can be that it associates to certain aspects inside of ourselves. It makes us think about certain things that maybe we subconsciously we connect the dots in a way for it to make sense to us. So no matter it being spiritual and being about past lives, or it being medical in your physical body, how your brain helps deal and heal and handle and understand all that is life and being alive. It doesn't really matter in the end, does it? It is interesting and it's beautiful to explore, but what is most important is that it makes you feel comfortable within yourself, and it doesn't really matter how we go about it in the end, as long as it is right and feel right to us. It's the same way with working with our different materials, like I said before. The same goes for how we channel the frequency of spaces, of places, of interactions, of relationships. And our brain is a wondrous, miraculous thing. It could be that we are just making it up in a way of us to make sense of it all. And that is beautiful, that is wonderful. Many people, when talking about wanting to find the truth and the only truth, I don't believe we have the capability to do so, because there is as many truths as there are individuals, and even more. The situation might differ, and we might see an aspect that we should recognize as being a truth. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the experience of ours, how we experience it, what it brings forth in us. Because in the end, no matter being a telepath or no, who we are is who is right here. And that, I think, is not a loss. It's not something that makes us feel, that makes it less beautiful. It makes it even more beautiful. And what I want to do, and I talk about this a lot. Anyone here? We're back, right? We're back. Anyone? I don't know what happened. This was the first time it happened for me. Internet disconnected. Huh. Or stream disconnected. Maybe I said something that we didn't want to talk about. Are we here? Hello. Are we back? Went down. Yeah, it never happened before. But you see, when these things happen, this is actually a beautiful thing, because this happens in different aspects of our lives, when everything just goes down. And it could look like I was saying, that it looks like something that makes it less beautiful, but in the end it just builds that fire. It gives us a perspective to see who we are from a different perspective. And with that, build a fire of curiosity, standing up for ourselves. What do we want? And what is it out there? Oh, so it was you, Pago, who had a question for me. Go on, tell me. I'm just gonna refresh chat. Hang on, I just have to do this for my own sake. Okay, here we are. Sorry, go on, Pago. What's your question, my friend? I'm sorry that the stream went down. I wonder what happened. Maybe there was a great wind coming in. No, you know what it could be? You know, when I had, every time that I've had a computer that I use, a laptop or a computer, stationary, and when I was younger, and we were thinking about getting a new one. The old one would always stop to work. It was as if it felt, okay, so no more. So it wouldn't start anymore because we were already thinking about getting a new one. And we have just installed an antenna up on our roof in order to have the ability to connect to the internet. And now they're coming and building, digging up so we can have fiber connection. So maybe maybe our old internet connection, the antenna that just went up on the roof, got a little bit upset with us. Who knows? You've been wondering if you can speak with animals through telepathy from an experience. Yeah, tell me the experience, Pega. I would say you definitely can. Definitely. But tell me the experience, my friend. And if anyone wants a reading, the internet should be stable now, hopefully. Just to put exclamation mark joy in chat. Can you be good and cute? You've always been drawn into animals. But you know the frequency that you pick up on, or the frequency that you live in, being so close to nature. Aga, like I talked to you before, this is what other animals do. Most of them. We sniff and we read, when you go out with a dog and they read the paper, as we say, to sniff the ground to see what is been going on. It's a natural part of their way of understanding their world. And with you being so connected with this frequency, we did this too before as humans, looking to see what has happened with reading nature, breathing our surroundings with nature and the frequency of nature. So it makes total sense that what you are breathing in, other animals, other species, they do. Individuals, they use the same frequency to see what happens, frequency to understand what to do in order to get the best out of life and to survive. So it makes total sense to me that you would connect. We all can connect. As I said before, we all have it inside of ourselves. We just use it and see it as much as is needed in our life. Because we're all individuals, we're all unique. But for you, Paga, yes, I would definitely say it makes sense. But tell me about the story. Tell me about the experience you had last year. And I'm gonna show you a figurine that wants to come through for you, Paga. And I think you know what it wants to say. About what we've been talking about before, Paga. Recognize it. You'll be right in. Now your analyzing mind will say that, well, I never seen that one. No, you haven't. But you know the emotion that I'm trying to convey. Just be careful. You know what I'm saying. You're so confused, but also smiling. I love it. Yeah. Tell me what happened. So to be careful. Yeah, I did. That came through. About the dependency. So, as I said before, I truly do believe that all is due to perspectives, where we are, how we are. It's so interesting. Now, I have clients who are very skeptical, and they come to me. We start this little process, and after a couple of sessions, they say they don't feel a change, but they see things happening around them. So they would come to me, and I had this happen several times. They would come to me and they would say, you know, things in my life is changing. People around me are changing, and situations and opportunities are popping up that it hasn't happened for years on end. And now everything seems to happen all of a sudden right now. And I don't understand what it is that is happening. And it's so beautiful because I can see the change and the flow in them, but because they're being focused on it, be skeptical of it, which is totally fine and acceptable and important. And in some degree, we all should be skeptical because it keeps our mind open and excited and curious. And we can't have one without the other, you know? But it's so interesting because they would say, you know, that they don't see a difference. And then they start to see this difference around them. And it's then that they realize, hang on, how come that everything around me is changing, but I'm not? Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's you and your perspective and how you look at things, because you start feeling comfortable and start to build relationship to yourself and your different aspects within yourself, so you're more open to hear and listen and see what is going on around you. And with that energy, since we're all connected, it's the law of attraction, right? I just think it's so beautiful. I'm gonna read now. In your country, there's a few spiritual centers where people go to find about their gifts, their life, and many other stuff. You used to talk with a guy online who was part in one of those centers from his religion, and they would teach people to get in tune with their gifts and so on. And I asked him about finding my gifts and finding out some answers about what happened in my childhood. And I gave him a full name and birth date, which was necessary for the perfect person to connect. Okay? So what did he say? What happened then? If you want to share, Pega. It's so interesting when, as you're typing, it's so interesting how we say to find our gift. Because, people are talking about it being a gift, and it is. But I also talked about this a lot, you know me, that if it is a gift, it's as much a gift as anything. It's just part of us. Everyone can do. And like I said, we just use it as much as we need and feel comfortable with in our life. I have someone, a dear friend of mine, who are a bit skeptical and want to help people in a way that is not spiritual in a sense. And then I say to them, well, you're an empath. And the thing is, when we say this, because they're an empath and a healer. And when I say that, I don't mean you need to work the way I do. This would not be for everyone, because nothing is for everyone. But being an empath and being a healer is not something that necessarily you have to be stood and provide healing and working with energy the way I do or anyone else. You can also, cross over. I want to have no difference between the two, but you can take the bridge and you can work with it in a sense of a more traditional manner. You can still work with people, and you can still be a doctor in a traditional sense, or a psychologist, or a therapist, or whatever you want to be, and be an empath and a healer. Because providing healing and reading from empathy is not, it's not magic. It's just a way that you understand the world, and it brings you this beautiful opportunity to follow your dream. So it's quite interesting to see that people who want to shy away from spirituality see it as being not logical or not rational, and therefore when it's inside of ourselves we want to shy away from it. But it's not something that is foreign, it's not something extraterrestrial, it's just you. It's just the way that you see the world and you work. So it's quite fascinating. For when you then try to shy away from it, other aspects of you is still connected to this because it's part of you. So therefore, other aspects will also be hidden away when you try to hid this part away. So in everything that is us, what I want to do is try to find a way to create as little taboos as possible for everyone, so that we can live and just feel comfortable and content in who we are. Because in taboos, there are so many other aspects involved and connected to that we consciously might not be aware of. And I've spoken about this before. So when we're so scared or don't want to touch or talk or appreciate something inside ourselves, that little something is part of you, and so it will be connected to, and you will associate it things that you might not even be, like I said, aware of. So this is what I want to do. No matter how grim it might sound, no matter how easy or difficult, anything that you experience and feel, it's just you. So let's meet it and let's live. Because this is what has been set to earth. This is you. I'm gonna read now, sorry. Okay, so on the day he went there and gave me details to the person who would do the astral work, okay? I had a dream where an older woman with a blondish and curly hair would guide me to a sort of old building. And when we got inside the building, we entered in a room where she started to levitate me, and she told me you can telepathically speak with animals. And that was it. This is beautiful. I like this. And so the levitation, Paga, you remember me talking about the vacuum of space being your room inside? I feel what was there was that the easiest aspect for you to grasp of this is to be able to communicate with other animals, because of other animals being such a comforting part of your life, or such a big part of your life, such a natural part of your life. And so enable in a way to open that door for you is to take the easiest route to your heart, and that being to be able to talk to other animals. You can communicate with Earth itself, but it's easiest for you to understand if you start with seeing that you can communicate with who is already around you and you can see and touch and be with. If that makes any sense. So can you do it? Of course you can. Why don't you experience that you can do it? Same answer to every question. Starts within you. Perspective. And to bring yourself with. To do it in a way to accept and love yourself and let yourself be with. You do it. and to not do it in a way of trying to shy away from what is the rest of you and the rest of you and your experience of your life. Same with astral projection. What is the intention? As so many people love to talk about. But it is true. Do we want to do it in order to shy away from ourselves? The experience will look different. Or do we do it because we feel it's a way for us to feel joy and love within us? And then we can bring ourselves with. Same thing. Same thing we're doing with telepathy. With telepathy, there's also this part that is very, very important to talk about, of being manipulation. There were a rumor going around on Twitch that there were people energetically manipulating others. And I believe manipulation exists, yes. But the only one who can manipulate you, the only one who can manipulate you is you. You can be affected by other people's energy because you're reflecting each other. So if you have something inside of yourself that you'd rather not speak of, what you keep, what you try to lock in, the furthest away from you, pulling it all the way to the back and hopefully even further away. This you hide away in the deeper cell of your body will actually work because it's the deepest of you. It will actually work as the lens of which you are perceiving the rest of the world, because it is directly connected to your heart. So what we're trying to shove the furthest away from us will actually come to be the closest to other people, because we reflect each other. So it becomes the lens of which you perceive the world, and this lens, being the furthest away from you and closest to others, will also be what then reflects back to you when meeting someone else. What we see in others is what we resonate with within ourselves. And I spoke about this with someone yesterday, that when we have emotions inside, experience and feelings that we'd rather not meet, and we want to meet other people and help other people, and that becomes too much for us, can have to do with this, that by meeting others, we have no other, we can do nothing else but to actually confront our lens. So what is deep here inside? Because that is the first thing that will reflect back upon us. So if we walk around not meeting other people, we will keep it inside of here. But when we talk to someone else, it will reflect directly back to us. So us who want to reach out and who want to help, this can be why it can be so exhausting to do so. Because I truly believe, and it's just my personal belief, but I truly believe that we cannot see what we don't know of ourselves. So we can't see in other people what we don't resonate with within ourselves. Which for me makes sense into the saying of what you call others, you call yourself. So when you're angry and mad at someone, you use the words that would hurt you, because you are actually the individual that you are angry with. So what to do? Meet and greet and thank what is in here. To work in a process of creating it to become part of your natural flow. And a way to do that is to let it come out in its way it is. Then breathe it back in, to meet it and to create the flow when we create a relationship to it, we can then also meet it in others. We can recognize it and say, I know you. When we feel we're not alone, or when we feel this feeling that, okay, I know I'm not alone feeling this emotion, but I still feel so lonely and I am so wrong in feeling this emotion. But I also know that I'm not alone, but it doesn't make any sense to me. The reason why you would say that someone else is feeling the same is because they do. And this makes it so it exists. If other people feel what you are feeling, this feeling exists. So why wouldn't you meet it? Why wouldn't you create it? It's just you. It's right there with you all along. So why not accept it and meet it and see what it is? I think it's worth it. Get into the vacuum easily when not trying to find answers. Yeah. Knowing them not alone, but still feeling lonely. So when we feel lonely, but knowing that we're not alone, we're looking down on ourselves sometimes, feeling disappointed in ourselves. Why can I have this feeling when I know that I'm not alone with this feeling? Why is this so wrong? Well, if you know that other people are feeling it, why would it be wrong? And how can it be since it's part of you? Not just because others are experiencing it, but this, help your mind see this. You are saying that I know I'm not alone with this. That means that this emotion exists. So why shouldn't you meet it? That's how I look at it. Anyone of you watching would like a reading today, or a healing, or energy transference, just to put exclamation mark joy. I'll be working with you. Hi! Accidentally joined the stream, sorry. I'll leave after I finish this. It will take quite some time. Oh well. Oh, to finish this coffee, huh, Emma? Yeah. Hi, my friend. Good morning. How are you doing? I got coffee here too. Good morning. We had an abrupt connection loss. 26 minutes ago, it says right here. I got this big red thingy saying that, oh, that the stream was disconnected and tried to reconnect 26 minutes ago. I don't know what happened, but I'm thinking maybe it's because we're getting fiber connection connected to the house. Maybe that is why the old antenna is being upset with us. You would have left if you didn't have your coffee. Mm. You sounded British? In what way? It's Emma coming in, bringing out the Brit in me. Or maybe he woke up now. I don't know. When I said thingy, or when did I sound British? But Paga, you know what I'm talking about? This, right? Just think about it. It's right here. You were reading the notification. Yeah. Yeah. Well, him working with playing video games, you probably get to see loads of those notifications, don't you think? So that could have been that. Why it came out. Yeah. if no one has anything, you don't remember much of the message from the dog. Oh, about this? No, this was just about dependency. So it was just about being mindful of the dependency, Paga. Because you see the dog asking for a little treat and looking sad. It was just about this being part of you as well, with the dependency. So that was all. I was thinking, if no one wants an energy reading, I can be reading my texts, my lyrics today. I've already done so before, but I think many people are new or have joined after I read all of them. So I can be reading today. If you anything you'd like me to read as well, I'd love to, if you own the rights to it. If there is no one wanting an transference today, we can definitely read a little, bringing it to the beautiful feeling. I just ASMR, maybe. But like I said, I already read all of these. So hang on, I have to find them first. I have to go via Facebook to find my own blog. That's good, right? There it is. I found it. I got it. I have a blog. It's just a little archive with my old text. Read them with anger. Really? I just want to read them, Emma. I don't feel like being angry today. There was so much anger yesterday in the system. Oh boy. But it was also full moon, so moving into the Scorpio, and I am Scorpio. So my friend who's more into astronomy than me said that, yeah, this could be why. But I can read my old works. I read all of them before. Because I've not written any new ones, but I have works in English and I have works in Swedish. So what would you like to hear, guys? Scorpio, yeah. You see, you can tell right here. I'm just gonna jump in and start read. Then if you feel like, yeah, there it is. If you want to join, if you want to join, you can put joy in chat and we'll start working with energy. But I'm just gonna read. Many of these are very sad. But I can just read them. But like I said, read all of them. Oh? Hey Fabian, how are you, my friend? Thank you for joining. Would you like a transference today, Fabian? Because I know you're going through some tough things. But I feel you also just want to sit and breathe. Do you have some works I can read aloud? Because I can just use my healing voice today. Just read for you if you'd like. Thank you for always being such a beautiful support on Discord. You're this kind gentleman, greeting people and keeping the little corner alive when we're not there. I appreciate you so much. Sitting and breathing sounds good. Yeah. So I hope that we can provide with a little light, a little joy. So if anyone has anything I can read from, I'd love to. Because like I said, I already shared all of these. And they're very sad, most of them. But maybe just hearing the voice can help. I can read in Swedish as well, so you don't know how sad it is. I think you're making him blush. Oh, maybe I blushed you a little bit. Okay. I have a very sad short story. Like I said, I've read all of them. Well, but would you like to hear a sad short story? Sad, but it can bring some comfort in a way. Oh yeah, welcome. This is our home. This is the home of Sarah and Bumpus. Welcome, Fabian. Like I said, if anyone wants an energy reading, just join. Put exclamation mark, joy. I'm gonna read this. It's called One Letter Too Late. This is a sad little story, but I hope that we can still. I wrote this in 2018. That's it. The vault. It's not a vault. Paga thinks this is a vault. Oh, sorry. There. It's a beautiful little wood stove. Huh? That I thought would be such a beautiful backdrop to make this cozy little feeling. And then Paga comes in and says, oh, it's a vault. It's still beautiful though, I feel. And it is a wood stove. Don't worry. One letter too late. 2018. Sandra, my dear friend, the notice of your death did not hit me lightly. I shall always keep it to my heart, the somber moments at your bedside, which life did not give me permission to experience. As close as those joyful conversations in the garden we did have, your words of encouragement will always be of the greatest importance in my remaining life, and I am for those and all very grateful. I do realize my grave error in not writing you this sooner, as you will have no means of responding to whichever regretful words my heart in this late hour finally has decided to let go of for the sake of permitted acknowledgement. I do also realize the enmity of said words, especially as those who come might not do much but to harm the peace of your passing. However regretful, you'll be even more so disrespectful to myself not to tell them. I am but a humble old man, also I should earn some respect. I'm writing this in that old book Innie gave me so many years ago. It seemed appropriated somehow to be filling the blank pages finally with the last straw of a dying man after everyone he once held dear already has gone. Shaky words of some resemblance on what once were. I never did tell you, but I always thought I would be first to go. After all this time following in your footsteps, I really did think life would throw me a handkerchief and toss me off first. God knows I never could imagine outliving any. So when she passed, I thought myself to be at least the next in line. I don't know what have I done to be the very last of us. What mischief God forbade to have me experience me passing, and everyone I once held dear. I do hope something gives that somewhere I've learned to love myself, as also I get to live. Ah, I can practically hear your voice reprimand me for being so mellow. But you see, my friend, as you learned the reason for my correspondence, you will not stay as cheerful. The truth of the matter is that I do know why I'm being left behind. What mischief God could not tolerate the taste of in heaven, but could neither bear as banished to hell. I never did sleep with any, you see. Consequently, the child she bore was not mine, and the abortion was not of a bastard to be, not of a regretful result of a love affair, but of a perfectly healthy love child, of a perfectly normal marriage. As to my knowledge, the child was yours, and I did not tell you. I could not bear telling you that the love of your life did not wish to have any children, did not wish to become a mother. So I lied. We both did. And we made up a love affair which never existed. Somehow, the shame of that seemed easier to live with than that of the truth. I lost 15 years of our friendship to a lie and a secret which was not mine to keep. I will never forget the day you returned home from enlistment, how you came to our doorstep, telling us how you somehow have found a way to forgive in the darkest bliss of war. How you wished us happiness and forever joy, come what may. Innie died holding my hand, the same way she did every night, the only ever intimate touch between us, holding the hand which should have been yours, swallowing the tears she never should have had to swallow, biting back the words which should have braced your ears. I never did love her, and she never loved me. She was yours, Santa, and should always have been. She did not want any children, but she did love you deeply. It was by reading her diary some 20 years after her passing I came to learn about the early death of her mother and the supposedly genetic heart disease. Innie knew, had known all her life how that life was going to be cut short, and could not bear having to put a child, any child, hers or her children's, through the grief of a mother's early passing and the pain of a compromised heart. You see, she did not want to have any children. She wished not to have to leave them behind. When I learned this, Innie was already long gone, and I had no means of contacting you. The harm had already been done. It is my greatest hope God will permit the two of you to reunite in it. Will you have my warmest blessing? Come what may. Your friend. That was sad, huh? It's quite interesting though. Wooden floors, yeah. And if you're still here, Fabian, we also got a wooden ceiling. Did it actually happen, or is it just a story? This is a story. This is a fictive story that I wrote 2018. Yeah. Are we back? We're back? It seems it seems every time someone donates, it cuts the stream. It could be they are working with the internet, but they shouldn't be working with that internet. But maybe it's interrupting somehow. I'm so sorry, guys. This has never happened before, and this is the second time today. Energy's in the works, right? What I was saying was that the story. Yeah, it seems like we have disturbance in our reports today. It's the first time it happens, though. I don't know what salsa. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Fabian. As a fellow streamer would have said. Thank you. It was just a few seconds, was it? That's good. That's good. Thank you, salsa. Love you. Thank you so much. Hi, big boy. How are you? How are you doing? I'm gonna have to leaving shots, and I missed a couple things. I'm back. I see, not bad. That's good. We're having internet connections for the first time. Internet connection problems, I should say, for the first time. The stream is cutting in and out. But we are still having a beautiful day, I hope. So, this story that I read, like I said, many of them there are very sad. But it's beautiful because this is also part of life. And so even when we feel this, we're still alive. And what was so beautiful was that they were talking about a heart disease, right, in this story. And we have found with the healing, I actually have one client, and I said this before, but I just felt I wanted to say it again. It's just the one, so it could be due to many other things, but they've had a very difficult heart disease. And after us providing healing, among with other things, their doctor is now telling them that they are healthy. And they will still be, eating medicine in order to prevent anything from happening. But it's working in a way that it hasn't been for a long while. So if we found this, if we found something in here, it's just so lovely. It's so, so lovely. This one, Fabian. Hang on. Oop. It's a little ducky. So when I work with energy, since moving home, I've had these figurines with me for a long while, and I showed them off on the screen last stream. But I have these different figurines, and I just love them so much. But I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't know how to appreciate them in a way that they deserved. I didn't know how to put them up on a wall or what to do with them. And then I realized, of course, you can work with them. So what I do now is that I pull a little figurine when they want to come and work, and they help us through the energy readings and the transferences. And this little one, this little one was a little one who wanted to be here for Paga today. So I can pull one for you too, if you like, Fabian. A little support, a little beautiful support. Yeah. So I got this one. Who wants to be with you today, Fabian? And what they want to tell you today, if it's okay, my friends, is that sometimes we are the light bearer of our life. Sometimes we are the only one coming in with the light. And no matter it being because of the situation or just how we experience it, this is the truth for us in that moment. It's okay. Because even if it's just you coming in with a light in your own life, still someone, because it's you. And this little teddy wanted to bring this to you today. So truly what they're saying is that it's okay if the only one to help you is you. It's okay to feel that way. Because that's still, and you're still there. Every part of you. So it's also sad, but it's very beautiful. And he wanted to come through, Fabian, to say that even if you are the only light bringer of your life, okay. And you know why? Because there are many people walking around right now feeling the same way, shining up their own life with just their own little lantern of hope. And we have these small lanterns walking around out there right now. Rather than shining it for themselves, it still shines. And without the darkness, in the darkness we can imagine. In the darkness we can hope and breathe. We can fantasize. And then when we're there to shine that little light shining. And it brings such hope to many. And it's okay that for now it's just you. We still see you, Fabi. He came through to someone last stream as well, in that bearing the bridge of taking adult responsibilities. It's okay to be exhausted, Fabi. It's okay to feel just drained. And like we said, it's okay to be alone. Because if you see that is still you standing up for yourself. And if you can stand up for yourself, it means that you also see what is, because it's based in curiosity. And you can reflect upon others' hearts. But it's okay to also be alone. And this was what wanted to come through today. That is so important for you right now. It's okay if your little lantern only shines for you. And it's the only thing that shines. Okay. This is just a part of an entire. But it is what is right now. And we see you. And we love you. For you being you. It would be quite cool if your lamp not only shine for others but also for me. But that's the thing. We hold the lantern away from us to try to see something. We try to make see others. We try to make see what is out there because we don't see what is in here. And like I mentioned before, what we have stuck in here, deepest down, furthest away from others, is actually what creates the lenses that we perceive the world with. Then becoming in the reflection of others, becoming the closest to others. So it'll reflect right back on us. So in a way of shining your light to others, you are doing it for yourself. There's no other reason you would be doing it because you are just you. And as awful as it sounds, it is also true. And it's okay to feel that way. And that is what he wants to come through and say. It's okay if the light only shines for you and you feel you're the only light bringer in your life. It's okay. And I'll walk through it together. Right now, just breathe. It's a very simple but yet very beautiful little thing coming through. It's so beautiful seeing you two interact in chat. We need darkness in order to see the light. And you got that head on your shoulders, Fabian, but you also got the hearts. Just breathe. Just relax. Just be. I want to send a little healing bubble to you, if it's okay. And this little fella is gonna be right here. I'm a little bored, a little bought of a special case since I gained quite a lot of strength out of my darkness and now it's hard to go back into the light. It's a constant clash of my duality and my inner state. You're a little bit of a special case. You're a bot of a special case. You're just you, Fabian. You're just you. And it's okay. Let me do a little something for you. Let me see if I can provide some comfort for you. Because when life just slows down, our mind is spinning, racing, but life just seems to, we have no way of continuing what we did. We just slow down and we just watch things happen and can't quite respond to them, can't quite react to them. This is actually a state where we get to reflect upon ourselves. So because you've been running away from yourself, because you've all your life you always make sure you have something to do in order to focus your mind upon something, to just have it been done, to just exist. The emotions with it, I spoke to you about this before, how they're catching up with you. We spoke about this bridge, right? Where it will fall apart behind you because you just keep on running. and you're terrified of if you ever stop, you will fall. And what is happening and what has happened now is that you stopped and you're falling, but nothing is happening. You just keep on falling, and life just keeps on happening. And you wonder, when's doomsday gonna come? What is gonna happen to me? And you're in the state that you can't quite connect to what is around you. This is your way of healing yourself. This is your emotions that you carried with you about this being lonely and feeling like someone on the outskirts, about this with the intelligence and all of it that we discussed before, about feeling judged. We're healing those clusters. You are healing them right now in the background, which is why you're feeling in this floating state of not being able to reconnect and not being able to connect to anything around you. You need this in order to let yourself heal. Because you have all these responsibilities, and Fabian, and it's like you're trying to, you know everything that you needs to be done, and you know everything that you have to keep on doing, but you just feel, you just found yourself in this state of a floating conscious. I'm just gonna lower the sound a bit for me, sorry. If you will listen to me, can I have it somewhat lower? It's not letting me change it at all. Ah, hey. That's interesting. So it's a little bit like in your case now, I'm trying to change the volume of the music and it just continues. It is like you have this experience of you know everything that needs to be done, but you just can't get yourself to do it. And before you were just running, and now you're stopped and you're falling and you're waiting on the ground to hit you in the face, but it doesn't happen. So this floaty state is just a way for you to, in the background, heal. At the moment, my whole life feels like a constant stepping back, but I also know deep in myself that's not true. Like always, I have problems with accepting. The thing is, Fabian, in order to survive all the emotions that came to you, you categorize them, the situations and what happened rather than the emotions. And so you use your mind a lot. When being left and put aside, you would use your mind in order to try to understand not why it happens, but rather understand the situation, observe it and see what it is to make sense of it. So you've been up here using your mind quite a lot, and with that running, like we spoke about before. And so you've been so much thinking that now what is happening is that you're starting to feel. You always felt, but you've kept them two separate in order for you to survive, in order for you to feel you can handle it. It's been your way of helping yourself. And now the emotions catching up with you. And because you're so used to just working with your mind and trying to make sense of things, also now when the entire world goes in slow motion, this has you have to stop. And with that, the emotions catch up with you. But they do so in a way that makes sense, or that is most easy for you to handle. It won't make any sense because you're used to think. You're used to be thinking. And now you're starting to feel in a new way. Not saying that you've not been with your emotions before, but you also know what I'm talking about. I wanted to be back running on the bridge because it worked. Yeah. And I got forward even when the price was very high. And now you're simply falling. And you're waiting for the ground to hit you in the face. And it doesn't happen. Sure, there's harsh edges on the way down, but it doesn't seem to be anything that will hit you. And you're wondering what is happening. It is you healing yourself. It's the emotion coming up. It's you connecting to you. It's the little boy connecting to the adult. It's all the feelings of being neglected and being put in seconds. Meeting those clusters inside of you in a way that you have no other way of doing. And that creates confusion, but it is also just simply something that you're not used to. I'm a bit worried about my emotions and the consequences they will bring. It will take away known procedures and non-rational ways of going through life. Yeah. But they've always been there. The emotions, they're part of you. So how can they do you harm if they've always been there? It's more about opening up to have what you had before, and it's beautiful. It's harsh, it's awful, it hurts, but it is you. We're bringing the two together to have you feel that you too can experience love. To have you feel that you too can be appreciated, not just because of what you're doing and what you're thinking, but who you are. Morning, Tara. How are you, my friend? Morning. Holding them back and concentrating only on the hard facts of life, university and job, worked for a long time and brought me to a certain point, and now it doesn't work in such a way and I can't get all I'm. No. Because it's time for love. You know that necessity of feeling belonging. You had a taste of it with your mother. Unconditional love. Not unconditional in this case. But you have it there. But then going out in the world, meeting people, oh, it is unconditional, but you know, we all have our struggles. But other people then just seem to care, not to care to put you, to choose you. Friends just seem to be friends with others and not with you. And so it made sense for you to turn to your mind, to your head, to your intelligent side. And what is scary is that now when you connect the two, and when you let the emotion, because you have no other choice, when the emotion comes up to you. Before, about your mother, when emotions came and you were worried, like we talked about half a year ago, half an hour ago, half a year ago maybe, you still could feel them, you still could experience them with your mind. Now you're starting to feel them with your heart. And this means that this that has been with you all the time, I'm not saying that you're heartless, never happened, not at all. You simply focused on your mind. because no way of keeping yourself safe. And now, all that time that has happened and that has where you have been gaining appreciation from what you have been doing in here, or trying to gain appreciation from what you're doing up in here, to come up with conclusions, solutions. Now, the feeling of wanting love in a new way or in a different way. Everyone always wants love, but you know, or most of people do. But starting to recognize this, because everything is now in slow motion. Also, when you had that feeling, going back to your mother, of being appreciated for who you are, brings everything that was in between together, making you realize also that you have used your mind, and making you question this. Still with your mind though, because this is what you can do with your mind right now, is to question yourself. And it's okay that you do. All of this though is just part of the journey. It's just part of you. And it's as beautiful as the rest. So what will happen? Well, the ground that you're waiting for it to hit, realize you're not falling. You're actually just stood right up. And you're just looking at the future. Looking at what is below you, where you've been, your footprints. Opening this inner door to who Fabian is. Not what he can do, not what he can achieve, but who he is. I'm gonna reach that. Waking up again. Huh? Hi, Cappy. How are you today? Hey, hey. Hate my journey couldn't be an easy path for lots of food and fun. Well, you can still have that. It just simply means that you're grown enough, Fabian, to bring all of the healed pieces together for you to just make your own life. And this is what is difficult. It's time for you to do what you want to do from your heart, your dreams, and not having to feel like you have to always achieve, but to just be, to bring peace to an ever working mind, and to say it's okay that you're ever working. I see you and understand why, and I love you for it. But I also have this. I also have the emotions. I too have this heart. I too have dreams. And it's okay. Right now, it's okay to feel like you're falling, feel like you're floating, because you're healing. And in the pandemic, isn't this a perfect opportunity to be doing so? Let's breathe. You remember when you received that healing of me, from me, some month ago now, on stream? Fluffy. I share it too with you, Fabian. Do you remember the healing that you got from me? And you just felt something and open up inside, and you still wonder what happened? Would you like to talk about your feelings of it? Because what we did was that we actually had you to slowly, step by step, stop running. And ever since, it taking some time, of course, but ever since being floating, you know what? I have many people who say that when they received healing and they say everything just feels numb for a while. Like anything is possible, but still nothing. It's just life. It's just us getting used to the idea of these four walls that we believed was our entire life is actually just four walls in a house, which is a couple of walls in a neighborhood, which is a couple of pavements in a city, and you know, all of this, an inner world. And before we could look out the window and we could see it happening out there, but it wasn't for us. But now we realize we can open the door and we can go out there. Not because it's something external that we internalize, no. Because we're simply finding that comfort, that room within ourselves that has us open up to who we are. Because we have the tendency of starting to, oh, sorry. Oh, I saw you want to sit up upright. There you are. That's better. We have the tendency of, yeah, like him, lying down, looking up at a floor, a ceiling. Sorry, I got a woman's ceiling, so it looks like a floor. And that's all we can see. And then when we find the comfortability in ourselves to sit up, all of a sudden it's all of the room. And that is scary. But that is also because we can see our different opportunities. So we have the tendency to focus on one thing inside ourselves. And usually that one thing is a negative thing for us. We tend to focus on it because then we can blame everything that we don't like about ourselves on that one particular thing. And then when we start to realize that it's just one thing of many, and even that have sides, perspective, and it's anchored in so many different things that we didn't even know of, we are starting to explore ourselves, is what I'm saying. We're growing up. Next time it's my time to share coffee. Aww. So I have one client who would say that he just is humble towards what is happening. And I guess maybe that is what we experience. Who knows what is out there? But we should get the opportunity to find out what is in here. And finding what is out there helps with that. Because like I said, I don't believe we can see things that we don't resonate with ourselves. So, I want to send a bubble to you, Fabian. And if you want to talk to me about what is happening, you know where to find me. You don't have to believe in what I do in order to just sit and be you. A little bit of a rhyme, almost, right? For me, it's very hard to tell exactly how my emotions are at the moment. I also couldn't articulate them proper when talking to my doctor. No, because you are in a state of floating. You're in a state of dissociating from what is around you and everything, because you are healing yourself in the background. You are finding a way for yourself to meet all that emotion that you put aside before in a way that is most comfortable for you. And right now, that is to not feel anything at all and everything at the same time. You are in a state of a floating dissociative experience because you're healing. Floating hip pool is quite nice, but after falling from a bridge makes it a bit scary. I know. But I hope we can be right here with you in the journey. But I'm gonna send you a little bit of healing. Not gonna make much, but it's gonna be there with you. And we are right here. There you are, and hi. Can I do a little something for you, Fabian? Just breathe. I'm gonna come through. Now this can be a bit uncomfortable, but it is with love. So just take one deep breath. Inhale. Fabian, hi. Get you ready. Inhale. Hi. Now I'm gonna move, I'm gonna shift your energy to one side and then the other. And then I'm gonna balance them out. So just stay with hi. Okay. Now I'm shifting it to one side. This is what you don't want to see within yourself. Okay. Now the other. This is what you wish you had. It's okay. And now balance for you as them being part of the beautiful you are. Get in contact with me, Fabian, if you would like one-on-one for us to just meet this together. No matter, I hope that we can bring some comfort, some joy. I thought, hey, my friend. Sorry, I just love seeing your conversations in chat, guys. It just brings me so much joy. Couple hugs, yeah. So, Boaz, you truly, you're going through the. I'm gonna talk. Wait. Okay, Fabian, we will have time for future to continue your conversation, yeah? I'm right here, Fabian. Send me a hoot on Discord if you feel like. Or just, this is, you're gonna come through that. And it is a beautiful part of you. Just pray. Am I right? What is so interesting to find friends. What is so lovely is Boed now coming in. You used to be in this state of just floating, and now the same way that Fabian is in now. But now it's this train rush. It's just the train is going. Boop, 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 boop. There's so much. At the same time, there's nothing. But there's this what Fabian had before in just running, and running, and now going to the floaty sensation. It's almost the opposite with you, Boed. I feel having been in a floaty situation, and now it starts to. Okay, it starts to move here, it starts to move there. I can hear, physically hear in my head, things are starting to I don't know, it makes weird sounds in my head. And they're like things are connecting together and it moves and it happens and what is going on at the same time feeling completely stagnant. But things are happening from inside. It's quite beautiful how you two then complement each other in this situation. Because we all need different things and we're all on our different journeys. And it's beautiful for what it is. But it's definitely interesting. So you two can really understand each other in that sense. But I feel also the stagnant feeling that many people are feeling right now because we're being physically stuck. We're also being emotionally stuck and mentally stuck. But it's like with you, Poet, I just hear, and I'm sorry to just jump on you like this, but I just hear these happening inside of your head, like things are starting to come together, things are starting to move, to form, to happen, and still you feel stuck, but it's really is a movement going on inside. This week we got new standing desks, so I was forced to clean off my very messy old desk. That motivated me to go through some old boxes and rearrange the craft room. Yeah, I read on Discord. Beautiful. Sorry, I just love seeing you talk to one another in chats. It's so beautiful. But so it's interesting how it starts to move. I see the opposite here actually, which is so beautiful. Fabian, you're used to being in movement in order to just have things happening. You know, this is your way of having life continue, and now you're in this levitation, this floating state to heal. And with you, Boet, you've actually used this floating state also to heal, but it has also become a way of a hiding spot for you to flee away to, in a sense. You know, when you use something in a way to help you, and then that something comes out of control and it takes over in a way that you then can't control. It's so beautiful to see the differences between the two and still so much similarities, because you used to be in this state and now your way of healing is to have everything physically just come together. So it's beautiful to see the different journeys. Now this is now upstairs in that space, getting much more organized. I finally feel okay with getting rid of some problems. Oh, in reality, I'm never going to finish them, so it's okay to let them go. Ha! I was told just the other day that if I'm hiding, I can't be moving forward, so I've been stopped hiding. Yes! And that's so beautiful. Because your floating, your levitation, your floating, when you go up in this meditative floating state, has become a way of you to hide. And so what Fabian is feeling now, which is so foreign to you, Fabian, is that you are in this to heal. And you're used to this movement in a way to hide. And with Boed, it's the opposite, but still the same. So you're used to being in a floaty state in a way of hiding. And now you're in this movement in a way of to heal. Isn't it fascinating how we are all so different, but also so alike? Maybe that's why you come so close. Yeah. Yin to my yang. Aha. We should never separate mind and heart, but I think you realize what I'm saying when we focus on certain aspects of ourselves. And Fabian has been very much focused on this mind. And Boed has been very much focused on your heart. And now you're starting to explore the other parts. It's interesting to bring them together. Your boyfriend has no problem with that, yeah. Ah, jag försökte se Kivo see me Animal Crossing. Aw. Well, you know, Fabian, our soulmates, or our twin flames, or how we call them, our soul family, doesn't have to be the one that we live in that sense. I know in my case, it's so common that people think that my twin is Bumpus, and that makes sense. And in the beginning, I was so scared that it should be. It would have been so romantic if you were, and you know all this. Well, every relationship is different, and everyone is unique. So why shouldn't we just let it be what it is and enjoy the ride? Huh? Is what I believe. So, anyone wants an energy reading, or should I read another sad story? But it's with love, my friends. I don't mind being sickly sweet. Oh, they're to me such a sweet and lovely people. It brings me so much warmth. The people who might, because you've all been feeling so lonely, and so many people can resonate with it. But to see you come together, and to start in a way to appreciate parts of yourselves in the reflection of others. So beautiful, and it means so much to me that I can be a part of that. You three have this very thing in common where, and I know many people would resonate, having to put on, I'm gonna say a show, in a way of pretending to put out a face that doesn't completely resonate with what is in here. And you had your shares of trouble in, these different things coming in that you want to form yourself around, trying to make sense of it. It's interesting, and it's so beautiful that you then can find a way to really just slowly and gently letting someone else meet who you are inside. And in that reflection, also get to meet you yourself. And so's a bad girl, which isn't as bad as her nickname Stacy. I agree, you two have a lot in common. And this is what is so beautiful. This is why I'm so glad that, and you know this about it, you coming from a spiritual, if we're gonna say that, spiritual background where we listen to our heart and we go by the green thumbs as our as hedge witches. And then the love of our lives comes in with computers. And we start to feel, well, I worked so much in finding my own breathing heart, in calmness, in nature, in spirituality, and here comes technology. I wonder, it's not like we're opposed to the idea, but it's a little bit like we've been searching to get away from that a little bit, and we've made it, and here comes you with all these ideas, and still you seem happy. That's interesting. And then slowly by slowly realizing how we can bring the two in together to create this wonderful way of working. It really goes to show that the more we open up within ourselves, we also open up to what is around us, and vice versa. Mm. This is something about Salsa Bad Girl, but I'll be nice for once. Yeah? What you have to say? Cuddles and hugs. You gotta ask her. Salsa, it's so beautiful having you here in the community, and that you find a place where you can just say. What do you guys want to do? We have one more hour. Is there anyone that would like a transference? Anyone who have a question? Or should I keep reading these little stories? Oh, I got something to tell you. You know, we are getting a fiber connection, getting hooked up to the fiber. I wanted to say fiber lane. I don't know. Dentless. And I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. We'll start to stream as well. We'll start streaming. Hooray! I'm so excited for him. I don't know how it will happen, and I don't know how it will have and he will have to do with my studio, but it'll be brilliant. Oh, my communication chakra is a little bit upset because I don't know how it will fit it into our schedule. It's the only reason. But he was the one who wanted to start streaming, and so it's so beautiful to see him being able to do it as well. We'll see what happens. So if anyone have any questions or wants an energy reading, or I will continue to read. Bemba's energy healing and transference stream. He will probably play some games. He is as open to it as I am with energy and frequency, but he uses it in his everyday life. So we use it here at home, and us being the three of us, of course, it comes, being a part of everything. And he used it in his life, and it's a natural part of him, but he doesn't want to work with it. So he doesn't want to do it as a profession. He loves being part of the company, and doing what he does in the company, but he does not want to work with energy in that way. And so I respect that. But he loves to be playing video games and reacting to them, so that's probably what he'll be doing. And programming, probably. Can't see or hear the stream. Oh no. Yeah, I said, honey, that you will start streaming. Yeah, so am I. He's got this beautiful connection to you in the community, I feel. It would be lovely for him to be able to come online and just be who he is and who you are. He and me as only you can. Uh-huh. Mm. So, if there is no one who wants an energy transference, I just read something else. Shall I? Do you like it? It is, like I said, very sad though. Play 5. Yeah, with chaos mods. Just like you heal the plants outside, whatever that means. Yeah. And then I had this little discussion about needing to go to the loo so we can heal or fertilize the plants. Hey. We're having fun, you and I, don't we, Emma? So I'm gonna continue to read. Just find a little something. Or maybe sing it. You'd like to hear some Swedish or English? It's so sad that everything is so sad though, you know? It's just that it's that little thing of sharing that expression in a way to meet it and heal it. So even though the words are so sad, they are also just of what was right then. But that means that we're here now. I just think every emotion, like I said before, it really just depends on perspective. Emma, that's me. Yeah, it is. Singing old Norse music. Yeah, I don't know if I can find it. If I have some Swedish songs that I've written. I got so many works in Swedish. One could almost think I'm from Sweden, no? See if I can find something in English instead, my friends. Everything is so sad though, that's why it feels so wrong to read it in a way. In a sense. Bring out your bone drums. Fabian the Red wants to travel to the next British island with a church on it. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I don't know Norse though. I wish I did. I just usually use my healing my healing language, right? A boom, boom, boom. Mm. If you know what I can do? I can pull up a Swedish text I wrote and I can make it into a song. Maybe. Wouldn't that be something? So I can sing it. I can read it, but sing it. And it will be in Swedish. So you wouldn't know. But it would be an interesting experience. We can do that. If you sing in Swedish, I would not tell the difference. 100% for a bone drum DIY party. Yes, me too. Me too. Sarah is very tired right now, so just bring it on what I can do. No one wants the transparency. Bone drum. Yeah. Let's see if I can make this poem into a song. It's not a poem, sorry, this short story. Or should I just read it since it is Swedish? Maybe that would be interesting. What do you reckon? Whose bones? The bones of love. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm so tired, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sing to this music. Just around mine. Yeah. Oh. Mm. I had a tale so many times before. I need to turn off the music. I'm gonna read this instead, guys. I'm putting it back on. Okay. I heard the tales so many times before. The wind is told to blow my name. But no matter how hard I scream, sing till my throat is sore, the tune still sounds the same. Some hours are given, minutes to recall, thus we all seem to be forgiven. For times we trip and we fall. Pain, just a rush of what we're given. Hope that stands tall to never end. Light is born where darkness lives. The sound of silence. The sound, silence, true best friend. I've heard a little bird's tale. He spoke of the old world we thought we knew. This is from 2013, so it was a very long time ago. Ah, Saint Abacus. Hi. How are you, my friend? Would you like an energy reading today? We are just hanging out today, feeling the effect of the full moon from last night. Oh, sure. Aha. Let's see what I can find for you. Saint Abacus. They're talking a lot about ships today, Saint Abacus. Like, ship aho. Like moving, but standing still. It's really all about, I feel you're just very much in this feeling of, you're feeling the stagnant energy that many of us are feeling. Just wonder, Saint Abacus. Yeah. So, this zebra wants to work with you today. And what it's talking about is those hopes and dreams, still being afraid of faraway land. It's okay to dream. We're talking about dreaming and not, because when we're stood still, we really are given a choice for our mind to explore what we can find in our imagination. So I see that you have a lot that needs to be doing, but I also see that you have the ability to take the time to just, or they want you to take the time to just start to imagine the way out of this, not depression, but this stagnant feeling and being a bit. I know you got loads going on, but it still feels like someplace it just feels a bit, this feeling of what is going on right now in the world. For you, they just want to bring out your imagination and gaining the inspiration from children. Just bringing out the inspiration, bringing out the dreams, and just letting yourself off the hook of always having to strain. But it really feels like you have most of the things, going for you right now. But they want to remind you of that little thing of your imagination. And that could be the way forward. Because you see, you've fallen into this, not trap, but you've fallen into this mindset where you see things from a very rational point of view. And where you try to make sense of it and categorize it and just have it been done the way that it should be done. You're very much in this mindset of this is this and this and this. And they want to bring back that imaginative side of you. And especially with the inspiration from children, in just letting that part of you out. And that is the zebra wanting to come through. So have fun. Because I feel, in a sense, I know that loads is going on both on the emotional plane and on the situational one, but in a sense, it feels like you somewhere are quite content. But you're quite content in just honestly black and white right now. And so, what they want to bring out is that meditative side. And I know that everything that you're facing it's not easy, but I do feel you have this feeling of control somewhere inside of it, in it all. And I just want you to relax a little bit. Let that dreams fill your heart, in a sense. Dare to imagine. Yeah, dare to imagine in Savagos. And that will also help you calm down the emotions that you don't know how to handle. Because you have both of them right now. So it's a very, very general thing. And it's just that little push. Nothing else that you need for this moment. It's just that little push. Don't forget to have. And don't be afraid of what is bubbling inside. Don't be afraid to let it be expressed. We can heal in different ways. And a way to have fun and to explore, since you are this mindset right now where you have the ability to just also breathe, because everything is so like this right now. It's so structured, and they're talking about me being cautious because there's a reason why they're structured, yes, but also bringing that little joy. Just a little reminder. Just a reminder. So very general, not much today, but just that still beautiful. Hi, you people joining. Someone is having rather vivid questions, wondering who am I, what am I doing, what is happening. Come forth and chat and talk to me. It's okay. Bubbles, yes, indeed. So we are. Could this be the stress I'm having with the upcoming exam in June? But the problem is my college isn't sure if we're ever even gonna have the exam. That could be why you are, because I feel you are in many aspects, you're trying to structure things up. Because it feels like you're content with what is, but it also feels, you mentioned the stress, yes. But it feels like, it just simply feels, St. Javicus, it just feels like right now, you're just finding a way to cope with the situation. And that being to structure things up. And it's not a bad thing. But they just want to bring that little reminder in that it's okay to also to let the imagination be part of it. I can indicate and don't know if it will happen or not because I like organize my schedule. Yeah. And because you can't quite organize it for this instance, you're trying to organize other aspects of your life. Which before, because this makes sense now when you're telling me this, because which before you it's like you need this part of your life that you can keep organized. You need that little filler, that little quote that is to be filled. And when that is filled, you can then you could then have it a little bit more loose and a little bit more fluid in other aspects of your life. But because you are now not quite sure what will happen here, you can't organize that part, so you draw this need of keeping things organized, this quota, you are then filling with other aspects. And so what they want to say is that we see this and it's okay that you do it, but to also bring in that imagination. Because the reason why it starts to feel more and more, you start to feel more and more drained, in a sense, in this, is because you are pulling in more and more aspects that you're not used to have in this organized category. Organization is very important for you, but you have had a way to balance it out before. And now, probably because you're stressed about what will happening here with what you used to organize, you draw in other aspects to it. When it comes to school, I like to have organized, and now upcoming stuff 4 to 6 months in before. Yeah, and no upcoming stuff. Yeah. And this is why, because that part of you used to be so organized, or part of your life, and now it can't be. You're trying to have that quota fill up with other aspects. Dako says you only live once, go out and get laid before it's too late. It's true for some. It's true for some, for many, and it's okay. My Dako, my twin, would agree with you 100%. And for many, it's true. For others, we see other aspects. But yeah, thank you. How are you? Salsa. Thank you. Congratulations to Sans Navigator. I'm going to use this now. Congratulations. It's a fellow streamer who says, and someone who I watch, who says congratulations. So it's a good way of saying, I guess. But thank you so much, Salsa. You don't have to do this, my friend. Thank you so much. Truly, it goes a long way. But you don't have to. You know this. So thank you. So, Sansavigus, the thing is now that saying this to you is not supposed to bring you down. It's not supposed to put anything on your shoulders that you feel, oh, now you have to think about this also, because your brain will go to that to try to see, oh, how can I reschedule this in a sense that it works for me. It's simply a reminder that, or an acknowledgement that this is how you think and this is what is happening right now. So when we see it, we can work with it, we can meet it, greet it, thank it, and then we can let also it loosen up a little, so we can bring in that imagination and that joyous part of us also. And I'm not going to say how to do this for you, because I want you to find out for yourself. If I were to say I want you to do a specific thing, you would try to schedule that in a way to make sense to you. So I don't want to do that. I simply want to give that little push, that little bubble for today. Okay? I have a girlfriend, okay, so I have no problems. Remember, career is paramount, getting late is not. Mm-hmm. Also, it depends. But yeah. So just that little bubble today, Sans Advocates. So we have salsa. Okay. Salsa. Oh, we're gonna do emotes for you who are subscribers. We just have a lot going on right now. So Twitch being just part of our business, there's loads going on, so we have not quite had time. But we will look into it. We will have badgers, of course. Badgers will have. Thank you, Sansagus. So, Salsa, you wanted the reading? Yeah, you got a sub. You got a sub from Salsa. Congratulations and welcome. Salsa, are you here, my friend? You want a general reading? Yeah. We're bringing out the fox today. They're talking about how you're feeling like you want to shy away and hide today, because you're feeling all the emotions that have been building up is really taking a toll on you. So today, you'd rather pull a blanket over your heads, and it's okay to do so, is what they're saying. Very similar to Fabian, but in this, that what is difficult for you is to find out that you're not alone, and to start realizing this, and this is what is draining you because it's new to you. It's new for you. It's new in your life for you, how you see it. And you start to, and I've spoken to you about this before, how you've been very much perceiving the world from what for you would be a negative sense, and now hope is coming in, opening up possibilities for you, and it's draining. So all they want to say to you today is that it's okay to just put a blanket over your head, and it's okay to want to shy away, to hide away. You don't have to force interaction today. because you will survive just being you. I know I've spoken to you about this before also, Sosa. That when you're tensing up in a way that it tenses also your body. So your body starts to function in another way when you are trying to be out there, trying to reach out. And it actually tenses up even more when you're on your own, when you're alone, because you're terrified and those emotions come up to the surface, which is why you don't want to put a blanket over your head. Thing is, those emotions coming up to the surface and the feeling of being scared, we need to meet it because you're in the middle of your healing process. And the healing process is not easy. Really, we can call life a healing process, or a healing process life. Because no matter if you come to me or anyone else, or just no one, whatever you do, you're always healing yourself. But what has happened now is that this has really come to you in a very direct way, in a way that you are not used to. The wanting to pull that blanket over your head today is okay. And I feel you also have the possibility to do so. I'm not going to force anything on you today, Sasa. What you need today is to be able to be just you, wrapped up in a blanket, sipping on top of a cup of tea. Right? And just be you. And it's okay that you feel this way. Fox is right here with you. And today it's all about being vulnerable in a sense of being safe. And those two don't usually go together for you. But you're starting to see how they do. And this is what is happening. Hi Beryl, if you want to join, you can put exclamation mark joy in chat. Joy. No, joy. Joy, like enjoyment, like joyous. So to cry today is okay, Salsa. I'm right here with you. I don't want to force anything else on you today. It's simply these words that want to come out. Pull that blanket around you, cuddle up, and know that you're loved. And we'll be right here. Are you okay, my friend? What I have for you today. I see you do this together. Thank you. Love. I'm not forcing anything on you. Just take your time. Beryl, welcome to the community. Thank you for following. See? Good love, also. Like some bubbles. Thank you for letting me give you that. I hope it feels okay. Because I don't want to do nothing else today. Sometimes we just need time for ourselves. And that's okay. Yeah, right, poets? Aren't they beautiful? Look at them. This one was with last stream. But yeah. I love working with them. Yeah, I know, Emma. So, Beryl, what would you like today? Would you like a energy reading, a healing, like a general, or a focus? Do you have a question? What would you like, my friend? Okay. Would you like a general healing or a focused one? Is there any specific type of healing you'd like? A general. Okay. So, Beryl, let's see. I'm just gonna open up that frequency, my friend. Hang on. Hello, friends. I have to step aside for a little while. I can see you there. You can stand there. Oh, oh no. So, Beryl, open up the frequency for you. So I'm gonna lay out your shot, Beryl, but I'm definitely gonna start with your heads. By your right temple, over your right eye, and over to the temple. And I'm gonna open up your frequency, and I'm gonna send beautiful general healing you. Just have it work with you. This is not the first time you're receiving healing. Okay. Let me see your shots. Okay. So you're not new to energy, but you don't feel quite comfortable with it either. So we don't have to, when we feel we are connected to energy, Beryl, I just want to say this. I know that you work with it in a different way, but when someone says to you that you know healing and that you can put up the frequency and all these things, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to work with it in a way that we do. You can and you should always find your own way, because it's not the entirety of you, it's simply part of the beautiful whole of you. So it's just how you perceive the world. It's not magic, it's just you. So let me see. I definitely want to start here. I've got your right hand temple right here. I definitely want to go in and help you with that. Cluster. They're not showing me too much today because of which date I am in, but I definitely want to work with your head being pain or just feeling not to stretch it. I just want to help with either way. So I'm just gonna open up. Yeah, okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna put in a little small bubble. I know that you're not too used with this, okay? Just very gently. Now I'm gonna let it work for you. To work to collect all those thoughts inside of your head. It's a great confusion, and it's also a heavy feeling around the head and the temples. So I just want to help you a little bit with that, and then bring that down also to the rest of the body. Let's just breathe and exhale. Add 2 frequency threads here, just in your forehead, somewhat in towards the brain. And they're not cut, but they are a little bit overworked. So I'm just gonna see if we can heal them to let the energetic flow naturally. So what I'm gonna do, oh, I think you can see this somewhat. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of shot, but I got an energetic thread here, which is a little bit torn at places. So what I'm gonna do is that I am gonna take a little bubble plaster. I'm gonna slowly let it embrace the frequency threads. Sorry, I'm right out of shots. See if I can move it. No. Just explain what I do. Sometimes we need to sew to put them together, but now I feel all it wants, all it needs. I can bring it up somewhat, but not too much. If you can see here, this is straining it, but it's okay. And then, no, I need to go back down. I'm sorry. To have it heal, and then I take a little bit of your, because this is my energy, I take a little leaf that is from your energy, and I simply touch it and let it embrace and be just you. I want to go to your breathing now. I'm just gonna close this up. It's gonna work very slowly. I want to come forth to, I can move now, because I want to come forth to your nose, and I want to work with your breathing. And I want to just see. Yeah, so I got an energy thread going from your nose down to your lungs, but it ends somewhere around here with a blockage. So the blockage is right here. So what I want to do is help opening up that opening that up so that it can flow naturally, so you can breathe in a more calm way. So I want to help you. So I'm gonna put a bubble where I see the open up nose. I'm just gonna go in, and here I have a little thread. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna put a little bubble at the end of it. And it's just a reflection of love inside. And now I have a new little thing from the Meridian Flush that I'm reading. After I started that course, I have, now here's my guide. They give me sometimes blue powder, which is also just energy, but a way to open up the channel and to help it heal with a larger area at once, you could say, because it's a powder. It reaches places that will take otherwise longer for it. Maybe. I'm just gonna put it in. Really work up. So now I got this other part of this thread is right here in your nose. I'm gonna pull it out somewhat. And I'm gonna ask my guide to hold this one, sorry. I'm gonna put a little bubble at the end of this thread too. And I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna find this one again. I'm gonna have them come together. Very gently. Beautiful. Stitch them together. Just being in your nose now. Stitch them together. That. We're gonna take this little plaster. I'm sorry, I know you can't see. I'm gonna take a plaster and we just over. And then that little energy of yours, bring it to be just yours. Beautiful. I know you don't believe it 100%, and it's okay. Being skeptic is super important. I hope that it will still help in its own way in you. And now I can see if I can move a little. I need to stay here, but you can see I am now down here where we have a blockage. So we have the powder coming down beautifully here, and so we have a blockage here, and this is an energetic cluster where we collected emotion, and this emotion being something that most of us can resonate with, in feeling like we're not enough. We want to be giving responsibility, or we don't want to, but it's part of our lives to be giving responsibility. And when we want to do, it feels like we can't quite live up to it, and we have this stress of being all these different titles. This you have collected in the small family, you have collected here. So we're going to bring that cluster out. Resonate. We're going to bring it out very slowly. Now all these emotions that you don't want to talk about, we're just going to meet it. Have it come off. Oh, I'm still a little bit stuck. There, okay. We're going to meet it, and we're going to greet it. It wants to stay on my finger, so it's okay. For just what it is. Gonna bring a little bit of a bubble with it. Or this feeling like we're not enough because we feel lazy. all that judgment towards ourselves, and then bringing that with when we grow up. It's gonna meet. Now we're gonna bring it back to where we found it. Right here. Beautiful. We're gonna let it come. It's okay. So, the voices that you hear, so your inner Carol. It's gonna be a process. I'm gonna send with a little bubble to help with that process. Just bring some warmth. When we experience emotions, usually where we feel we're not enough, that we wish we could do something else, be someone else, be something else, or just do better, we have the tendency of putting these emotions into parts of our bodies. And then saying bodies, because it could be a physical body, it could be emotional body or astral body, whichever it might be. And we create these clusters with the emotions that we have not met or don't want to talk about. And they create blockages in our flow. So what we do is to simply meet them and say it's okay. To meet all those words from your mother, all those feelings you felt she said when she didn't, just in between the lines. All these things from before, we meet it, and then we create a flow so that you can breathe a little. And I'm going down now also onto your knees, onto your legs. And I just want to bring this feeling of warmth and comfort, of activation in your body. You can see there being underneath, when we work with people who work with energy, we have these glowing orbs that pop up sometimes to help with the energy work. In your case, I can see part of them underneath, but you shove them up. And you find another way to not work with it. And rationality is very important to you, so I understand this, but I also see how you put a little bit of a cover up. So what I'm doing is simply activating not anything that is not you, but simply you. But it will be a process. It's okay. So I'm not going to do too much today. I just wanted to help with this. I'm just activating that breathing. If you feel a little bit dizzy, it's because of the oxygen coming in. And if you don't feel nothing at all, it's also part of the process. Okay. Like I said, to be skeptic, so important. Just activating your aura. And for a last little thing, bringing up this beautiful colors of energy surround you once more. And into and out in your body. And down to your roots. Yeah. And up to beautiful. How are you feeling there? You're still here, my friend. Because I hear a skepticism, and that's okay. It will work with you. these little bubbles in its own way. And whichever you feel, when you feel nothing, or when you just feel a sensation or a thought, energy comes to us in a way that we can understand. That's okay. It's the way it works. So I hope that in some way or form, it can still help you, bring you some comfort, somewhere. To be in that of being a child and feeling, having things being, I'm not going to say put on our shoulders because it is just something that is, it's just the way that it is. But that emotion of feeling that you still wish you had been able to just do something different. Also connected to wanting to make your mother proud. When we have all these feelings and more that many can resonate with, and we place them somewhere inside ourselves because they're part of us, but we don't want them there, but there still is. And so they collect to form these clusters. And if we then can work with them and let them be the part of the natural flow as who we are, then we can breathe a little easier. So I hope in some way or form this can come to help you. And if you don't feel nothing now, it's okay. I can feel the energies. And it's beautiful to see. So thank you, Barry, for being you. Even when you feel you have to put up a face, you're still being you. So thank you. Smell a soft perfume now. It's appearing when you're here. Yeah. That being part of your guide. No. Okay. Sorry, I was just listening to Beryl. Skepticism is, like I said, it's so important. And the thing is, you don't have to feel like you have to be skeptic by yourself if you don't want to. I love to talk about what you experience. I love to hear how you feel and what you think, and about your curiosity, because you're here for a reason. And I love to hear that. I love to hear your thoughts, because it's all underneath the same sky. And so, like you feel, if there is something that you don't understand, you want to understand it, or you want to experience it a little, and to try to wrap your head around it, or just to experience it. And I feel the same way. So don't feel you have to feel you being sat in all of this by yourself. You can feel being open to share it with us if you feel like it. And then if you'd like to ponder it on yourself, which I know it's important for you, of course. It's just that I love talking to. Don't ever feel that you can't share anything with me, is what I'm saying. And Emma, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Thank you. It's interesting in your case, Beryl. It's interesting. And it's a beautiful journey. Pulling all the different things together to try to find yourself. And still feeling like you already are who you are. Because you are. It's just beautiful to have all these different perspectives at once. So thank you for being you. And I hope this can help a little. I hope it can help also. You have an energetic cluster by your thigh. your left thigh. I'm not going to work with that today because introducing you to the energy was what we needed to do today. But if you would like to come back, I would love to help you with that. Or if you would like to talk to me one-on-one, we can do that too. I don't have many time slots left, but there are still some. Or just hang out and just observe. But it will be at another stream because we have to end here now. But does this feel okay, Beryl? Are you okay, my friend? I do mean it when I want this door to be open for whoever you are, wherever on your journey. Because when it all comes down to it, it's just life. Are you okay? MKM, missed you. How are you? Beautiful way to start my day. Just let me know, Beryl. How are you doing? And thank you for letting me share that a little. Yeah, beautiful. I don't mean to call you a skeptic, Beryl, but I also think you know what I'm talking about. When we try to move ourselves away from ourselves, we start to observe the world, and that brings the analytic mind into play. It's beautiful having you here. Thank you. It's good that it was all right, Emma, because I'm so tired, so I'm happy at work in some way. It's just the way everything is right now. You know, there's so much going on. There's so much energy and so much shifting. So but I will have to get going now because I have a client in a few. So I'm gonna try to eat something first. It was beautiful being here as always. I'm sorry that I'm tired, but I hope that it helps us bring out the humanity and to understand us, just who we are. Take care, all of you, and thank you for joining today. It's been beautiful. And as always, you find me easiest, or I'm easiest to reach on Discord. Feel free to join there, and I see you soon. Yes, I'm gonna check when next stream is. I do have quite a booked schedule, which I am jumping with joy for. But it also makes it difficult to find a spot to stream. So, next stream will be, I think it will be in a week's time. Yeah. So I'm going away on Tuesday. So I will be, and I have clients on Thursday. So it'll be in a week's time. I'll be back next Friday. And who knows, maybe Bumpus and me show up during the weekend. Who knows what happens. But next Friday, same time. Because that's the time slot I have right now. But it will change. It will shift and change. And if you want to get in contact with me, like I said, Discord, you can put !Discord. Oh, yeah, there it is. Thank you, Ballard. I put my keyboard away, so I was just gonna grab it. But thank you so much. Happy the schedule is filled. It's wonderful for you and your business. Yeah, I feel so privileged, and I'm having so much fun, and we're finding so many things. I love it, but I am also exhausted. But that comes with it, and with that, I get to see and experience other parts of myself as well, as we've spoken about before. Take care, all. Thank you for joining today. And I see you, like I said, join Discord, send an email, or just show up next Friday. Or I see you when I see you. take care, all of you. Thank you for being here. And thank you truly for being you. I believe in the joy of the despair. Because in confusion, there's curiosity. And in curiosity, there is love. Okay. Love to all of you. Bye. Hugs and bubbles. Bye.